Hello, and welcome to the show. This is episode 3 of the Xbox Enthusiast Podcast. My name is Jamie, and I'm your host on this enthusiastic podcast of Xbox greatness. And you all know my co-host, the Barry Wheeler to my Alan Wake, Mr. Chris White.
Very nice. I like that. I'm good with that. I've been going back and playing Quantum Break.
Oh, cool.
And I still haven't even downloaded the because it came with Alan Wake backwards compatible. I haven't downloaded it, but I've really been tempted to jump back in. So
cool.
That's good. I like that. It's a deep cut.
See, I haven't played Quantum Break yet. I don't own it, but I love Alan Wake. It's really good.
Yeah, Alan Wake is great. Quantum Break. So, and I didn't finish it. I stopped because I got busy, and so now I'm jumping back in trying to finish it. But I love it. I'm maybe halfway through, and it's great. I love it.
Cool. And with us also tonight, we have Andrew Gonzalez, our managing editor. Andrew, how you doing tonight, sir?
Awesome. I kind of just want to talk about Quantum Break all night now.
So you played it as well, then?
I did the review.
You reviewed
for
it, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's
we got like a copy of it a few weeks before it came out, and I was playing it. The game was awesome.
Awesome. Now I'm thinking I've only been here a few, maybe a month? I think you reviewed it before I joined.
Yeah, it was probably right before you joined. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a big. I mean, we were all kind of. That was a big thing for us to get it that early and to get the review out. So that was fun.
Awesome. So before we get into the video game stuff, what have you guys been up to lately? Did you guys do anything cool over the weekend? My brother-in-law and I went and saw the new Ninja Turtles movie because we both grew up big Ninja Turtle fans. It was better than the first one. I'll say that, and it had a lot of callbacks to the cartoon, like the first one didn't. It's definitely a movie you have to be a Ninja Turtles fan to get most of the references, but I enjoyed it.
This is the problem. Last week we had to scold Andrew for buying Legend of Korra.
Sure.
And now you're giving your money to Michael Bay's Transformers. What am I going to do with you?
Ninja Turtles, not Transformers.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Same thing. It's the same exact thing.
Well, I have to go see it. I have a free ticket because I pre-ordered it at Best Buy,
cool.
So I'm going to go watch that movie.
Awesome. Hey, if you're a Turtles fan, you'll like it, man.
Yeah, the first one was okay.
Secret of the Ooze, man. Secret of the Ooze.
Oh man, I look to this day the 89 is it 89 or 90 the very first movie,
yes.
A phenomenal movie.
I have it on VHS.
Still holds up. So good.
Yeah, I've got actually I think I own every Ninja Turtles movie, including that CGI one that happened back in
the 2005.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That was a good one.
Yeah, that Leo versus Raphael fight on the roof in the rain. Yeah. Come on, one of my favorite turtle fights ever.
Oh man. Oh hey, wait, quick question. Which turtle is your favorite?
Leonardo.
Okay, Andrew, what about you?
Same.
Oh man, I'm a Michelangelo guy.
Yeah, you seem like Michelangelo. Of
course.
That fits.
But what have you guys been up to? Anything crazy this week?
Play more Overwatch.
Sure.
That's literally all I did.
Sure. Well, I mean, now I know you reviewed Overwatch for our site. What did you love about that game?
Oh, it's more like, what didn't I love? Everything about that game was awesome. I mean, the characters, the way they looked, the way they moved, the way each of them felt so different. And even though there were only like 2 or 3 game types, it didn't really feel boring because I'm always learning something new about all the characters, and I was constantly... I can't stop playing it. Every time I play Halo with my friends now, I keep thinking about Overwatch. I just want to go back and play it.
Now, hey, let me ask you a question. Is it free to play on PC?
No. Okay. I mean, I know at least at Best Buy, like the physical copies are full price, so I'm pretty sure it's the same on digital format. Yeah,
but like the PC copy or the console copy?
The PC copy's full price.
Okay.
At least at Best Buy when I saw that.
All right. See, it's just, to me, it's a game that I really want. I actually almost psyched myself up to buying it. Sure. Just because of, especially after reading Andrew's review and then all the hype, got a lot of people on Slack that have been playing it and liking it. And then I look at that $60 price tag and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to put $60 worth of play into this game. Now I might, but that's just such a huge investment.
Yeah. I mean, if we all played together, man, maybe You never know.
Yeah, I feel like this is such a great, like, this would have been a perfect game to test sort of that model out on a console, right? Like, it's Dota, League of Legends, those games are free to play, they're hero driven, so you can buy heroes or whatever. So the idea of releasing this game free to play on a console would have been an interesting experiment, and then just sell characters, the hero characters would have been cool. I would have definitely jumped in had I had a chance to play it. I feel like at some point they'll maybe do like a free weekend where everybody can jump on or something. I may give it a shot, but man, I don't know, a $60 price tag for a multiplayer only shooter, is not my cup of tea.
Sure. Well, speaking of games that are overpriced, Andrew, another game you've been playing this week, Dangerous Golf.
Wait, that's only $20, right?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about that?
Oh, it's underwhelming. I mean, I'm a huge Burnout fan, so when I found out, like, some of the people who worked on Burnout were making a golf game, that on paper, that sounds amazing, and it even had the kind of, like, the afterburner or the crash breaker mechanic from Burnout, and it's the same thing with the golf ball, and it sounds awesome. Then you play it, and it's not fun. I mean, the camera angles are terrible. Even when you line up a shot, there's really no way to, like, there's no meter to know how hard you're hitting it. It's either you hit it or you hold the left trigger and hit it and it goes softer. You hit the right trigger and it goes faster. But there's really not, like, a place to aim it, so you're just going in a general direction, and it's with, like, the mixture of camera angles and then the different obstacles there, it's so frustrating. And sometimes there's difficulty spikes that you don't even expect, and it's just not fun. And I've played through about half the game and I'm gonna finish it, but I'm not. No motivation at all.
Sure. Now, is this a game, I know it's like camera angles and things like that. If they patched it and fixed it, would it be okay? Or is it just the core idea of the game? Is that what's weak?
Well, no, I mean, there are a lot of cool ideas, and you can even, like, hit your ball into an area and warp it to another part of the level. That's pretty cool, and you can explode basically anything, which is awesome. It's when you're moving the ball, when it's in that, like, smash breaker mechanic, sometimes it just goes so slow. There's a time limit. It's hitting walls back and forth, or when you hit a certain wall, the camera turns so you can't see where you're going. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, the ball drops and you have to make a putt from halfway across the map, and it's terrible.
Sure. Speaking of terrible golfing, I actually have a golf outing I have to go to for work tomorrow. It's my first time golfing this year. It is going to be a disaster. Probably worse than Dangerous Golf. But
I don't know. Let me ask a question just while we're on Dangerous Golf. So explain to me what the like what's the actual game itself? Like, is it literally just a see how many points you can rack up by? So there's no, is there like a tournament or like a
no? It's called World Tour, but it's just you. You're not playing against anybody. It's literally just see if you can get the highest amount of dollars, like, worth of damage done in a particular shot, in one shot. You only have one shot. You can get bronze, silver, gold, or platinum medals, and you just have to cause the most destruction that you can with that one shot. If for whatever reason you can get the ball in the hole when you shoot, you can get a re-tee and shoot again to get more points. But it's so basically
it's the perfect game to play when you get fired.
Yes.
Sure. You just destroying everything.
Stuff.
Sure.
I mean, there's a level where you're literally in a kitchen and there's just china everywhere and you destroy it all. And I mean, that's basically the game. I don't find it fun, and I was really pumped for that game.
Sure. Well, actually, speaking of destroying things, I've been playing a game that's, one of those games where you're squeezing your controller so tight you feel like you're gonna break it, right? A little game called Phoenix Furia. It actually used to be called Phoenix Rage. It actually had the word rage in the title.
Fitting.
The game, it's it's fun. I mean, I've got my review going up this week. It might be up by the time this podcast is up. I won't say my score on here, but it's a lot like Super Meat Boy, where like the levels are super short. Like most levels, they're like micro levels. They're like 10 seconds, 15 seconds maybe to beat it. And your little character, I guess he's supposed to be like a space hedgehog. You kind of, at least that's what the story tells me.
Yeah.
But in the game, you can jump infinitely. Like you just keep tapping A, you'll just keep going up. There's like no way to stop you from jumping. And then you use the trigger buttons to like dash side to side. Those are pretty much your only moves. And you got to make your way through these levels. And I mean, it starts off easy enough, and eventually you'll throw in some puzzle elements like teleportation and things like that. But eventually, like toward the end of the game, there are so many objects flying on the screen at once. It's literally all luck. Like you just start hitting the dash button, hoping you get through. But
that's my kind of game.
Yeah, the game like Super Meat Boy though, like Super Meat Boy, you die, you're instantly back at the beginning. There's no load time.
Nice.
It's just like that. So literally, I'll die like 20, 30 times. I'll start, I'm dead. Start, okay, I go a little longer, I'm dead. Go again, I'm dead. And like just second after second, death after death. Like it just keeps totaling up. It's a really fun game. It really is. And if you like Super Meat Boy, I would say check it out. But it doesn't have the same polish as Super Meat Boy. It was made by 3 people. I think Super Meat Boy was made by 2 people, right?
That's true. Yep. 2 people.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's 2.
But this is by, I think it's Green. I want to say Green Lab Studios. It's 3 guys.
I think it's Green Lava.
Oh, Green Lava. Sorry, yeah, Green Lava Studios. And I mean, it's a fun game. If you like Super Meat Boy, check it out. But if you don't like getting angry or dying a lot, you might want to avoid it.
I like Dark Souls, so I think I will like that game.
Sure.
Yeah. So I finished In Between, which I've talked on here for a couple of weeks. The review is up right now. It'll be up, and you guys can check it out on XboxEnthusiast.com. And I'm not going to tell you what I gave it right now, but you should definitely read it. I love the game. The game was great. It was a huge surprise. It's a very much story driven. So basically, the game you start as a character who's struggling with leukemia. And the game is set up in dealing with the 7 stages of grief. So the first stage in the game is shock, and inside that stage are levels. I think there's 10 levels in each stage. So you have 10 levels that are dealing with around the idea of shock, and then you go into denial, and then there's anger, and so you go through every one of the stages. But it's very much story driven, which was something that I didn't expect. It reminds me a little bit of Braid in that way. Like everything's kind of voiced over, so you're basically just hearing the character talk to you through the levels, and every now and then you'll have like a breakthrough with the level, and it'll have like a little flashback, and he'll tell you a story, and it deals with him, having to let his dad go, and it deals with him, handling how leaving his wife a widow, and it deals with him having a child and not being there for his child, and like super heavy stuff. Now the game itself is like a 2D puzzle platformer. You control gravity with the right stick, and you move with the left stick, and that's the game. So you can basically stick to any surface just by using the right stick to go upside down or left or right, and then you just move left or right with the joystick to go. There's no jump, there's no action, there's no punch or dodge. You're literally just moving and kind of working your way through these levels. But what makes it stand out is just it's so story driven, and there's a lot of power in the story that they tell. So I actually initially I was a little frustrated with it just because some of the puzzles are a little floaty. There's not a button. The one thing that I point out in the review is there's not a button to see the whole map. So for a game that's strategic, it's not so much fast-paced, or a game that's frantic like we're just talking about. It's a much more melodic, slow-paced type game. But not being able to see the map and kind of playing your strategy, you get halfway through a map and die because you really didn't see where you were going, and that's just kind of a failure on that part. But outside of little cheap deaths like that, like the game plays really well, and once you kind of get invested in the story, it's really, really great. So the review's up. Check it out. It's a great game. It's called In Between. And so it's out there. You guys should give it a look.
What's their rating on that? I mean, you said it's really heavy. Like, is it like T or?
That's a great question. I'll have to look. I mean, there's no, when I say heavy, I mean, it just deals with heavy subjects. I would assume it's teen. I don't remember any, language, and it's kind of done in a 2D hand painted art style. So again, kind of feeling like Braid. Now the characters look more realistic as you know, they're not chibi like in Braid, but like it's still kind of hand painted and cartoony. And you know, you see people in hospital beds, and he's in a wheelchair at one point. So there's definitely some heavy themes, but there's not really any cursing that I can remember. No blood or anything like that. So at the most, you know, probably teen. I couldn't imagine it being any higher than that.
Sure. Speaking of, you know, great stories and games, and I can't remember it's on the tip of my tongue. Can't remember what it was called. It was a game where the narration was over it, and you were a little red square.
Bastion. Oh no.
No, you're a little red square.
Thomas was alone.
Thomas was alone. Yes.
Yeah,
that
that's a
game
great
is
game,
amazing
too.
because
Yes.
it tells it makes you care about like these little squares
Yeah.
and rectangles, and that's what
I
it was
haven't
making me
finished
think of.
it.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good.
I
And
bought
really
it for
good. It's really
I bought it for $1.79 on Deals with Gold.
you do that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, if it's cheap, if it's like a cheap price and it looks cool, I was just like, might as well.
Sure. Of course.
At least it's a good game that he bought on sale this time.
Right.
So.
I played through half of it. I think I played where you get the bounce on one of the squares.
The little fat one.
Yeah, the pink one. Is it pink?
Yeah.
I think it's pink.
Yeah, the chubby
you can
one.
bounce on it. Yeah.
I call him
I think
Kirby.
that's about halfway.
I forget their names. They all have names, which is funny, and their names were like Steve and like Joe.
It's hilarious. I love that
Just
game.
like real names. I love it.
Speaking of boxes, with that, guys, we'll hop into our news section and what we're calling the news box.
News box.
With this, we're going to kick it off with some news that Chris is super excited about. A little game called Yooka-Laylee.
Yes.
Now,
well,
Chris, tell us about
not
what's
good
going on
news.
with Yooka-Laylee.
So Yooka-Laylee is amazing, and it just continues to break my heart. So this seems to be the trend, right, of the games that I want more in my life than anything else. You know, we don't want to mention any names, Mighty Number 9, but you know, these games that just bring back the joy of when I was, you know, first starting out playing games. And you know, Mighty Number 9 is another one that I'm really looking forward to, and that's finally going to be here in a couple weeks. But Yooka-Laylee, you know, obviously the spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie, and you know, kind of the resurgence of a 3D mascot platform, which we got Ratchet and Clank earlier this year on the PlayStation, but there's really not anything like that on the Xbox, right? So this is, you know, outside of the old Banjo-Kazooie games, Microsoft is not doing anything in the kind of the 3D mascot space. So this is kind of that we know of. Hello, E3 is coming up, so my prediction was that Banjo-Kazooie is going to be there, so we'll see. But man, Yooka-Laylee looks great. I mean, it looks like the next, you know, proper sequel to Banjo-Kazooie. Now, what you're alluding to is the fact that we got a very cool trailer. Up until the trailer that they just released, all we saw was really pre-alpha footage, which looked very empty. I mean, the game looked, you know, like we wanted it to, but there was like, you know, very little in the background, very little in the way of animations. It was very, very rough. This trailer that they revealed looks great. Like, the world is full. They show various locations, including like a snow location and a desert location. Like, it's starting to look like the game that we want it to be. And then they're like, we're glad that you like all this footage because it's not coming out till 2017. Right. Oh, gosh,
now, did you see all the Banjo-Kazooie Easter eggs that were hidden in the trailer?
Yeah, I mean, I saw a few. Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I don't think that there's any doubt that they're just completely owning what the game is, and that's what I love about it.
Now, did you see the little tag at the end where they were talking back and forth, and one of the Banjo puzzle pieces was in his drink? Did you see that?
Oh no,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I saw that
It's
one.
hilarious.
I'll have to go back.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things they
stuck
stuck in there where it's like it's totally Banjo-Kazooie.
I actually did not watch the trailer because I don't want to.
You're letting us down, man.
I'm going to go in fresh with that game and will not watch any single trailer.
Sure.
Because Banjo was like one of my favorite games, so I just want to go in and play it.
Sure.
I don't want to get myself crazy and be like 2017. So I'm gonna go in fresh.
Okay.
That's my plan.
So
probably won't happen. but
yeah,
it probably won't happen.
Probably,
this is what we do.
Well, you're going to E3, so I'm sure if you walk past a demo kiosk, you're not going to be like, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to play it. I'll just wait for another 6 months." Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
If I see it, I'm literally just going to be like, "I will stand right here till it's my turn." I just
That's right. So I'll say this. Anytime delays come up, it's always a mixed bag. You want a game that is good, and that's what's important. I don't want Yooka-Laylee tomorrow if in 6 months it's going to be, a better game. But at the same time, the problem I think that we're having is developers announce games with release dates too soon.
Sure.
They didn't even just say 2016 like a lot of games. They had October 2016. It's like, don't tell me. Like I'm moving around my calendar trying to figure out how I'm going to afford all the games in October that I want. And then it's like, oh, by the way, but look, the game's going to be amazing. I will play it day one.
Sure.
So just make sure it's ready, make sure it's good, and then give it to me.
Man, see, that reminds me of Mirror's Edge, because I was super hyped for Mirror's Edge. Supposed to come out in last year, then it was February. Now, it came out this week. Now, I still haven't played it, but the reviews coming in aren't that great. So I'm like,
I see. That's where
I mean, they're decent. They're getting like 7-ish.
I think IGN gave it a 6.9, and that's not even bad.
No, it's not.
To me, that's not bad. Yeah. It's when you get to me, a 5 and below is bad.
Sure.
A 6. I mean, anything above a 5 is kind of like, okay, this is cool, just be cautious. But, I mean, 6.9 and 7s are, like, I think that's what the first one got, and I love that game.
I love the first one's so good.
Yeah. What I'm hearing, and I've played a couple of hours of it, the game plays, great. It makes me sick. But like it plays just like Mirror's Edge. Like if you're a fan of that, like it plays just like it should. I was trying to think of what it really kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of Metroid Other M. Have we played this game?
Yes.
So Metroid Other M came out.
I bought it for full price.
Gosh, Andrew. So Other M came out, and Other M was a solid, shooter. Mm-hmm. The problem was they changed Samus. There was so much dialogue, and they just changed her so much. It felt like you lost the essence of the character. The little bit that I've played, I feel kind of that's what they're doing. Faith, right? Faith is yeah. So Faith was this like cool bad A, not super powered, just like this really cool, almost superhero-esque character. And we don't have a lot of really strong female characters. And like, I just don't like her in Catalyst. Like, she just is not, they're just not doing it justice. I wanted her to be like Lara Croft, esque. Like, she has that potential, and they've done a really poor job writing. So while I think the game plays great, the little bit that I've played, and I can't speak for the whole game, I've only played about 2 hours, but the little bit that I played, the story is just garbage.
Sure.
And that's sad.
Sure.
I think that I haven't played it yet. It's installing right now, actually, but I think this one's supposed to be a prequel, so maybe that's kind of why you're feeling that way, because she hasn't become the person that we know from the first one.
Well,
that's only my assumption.
Sure.
I'll be able to elaborate more after, but that's where I'm coming from.
Okay. Well, speaking of delays, the only thing worse than a delay is a cancellation. So, Andrew, why don't you tell us about a little game called Allison Road? What was it, and why are you so sad?
I'm so upset because this was kind of like the answer to PT when that was such a huge thing, and when it got canceled, they had a Kickstarter for this game, which was supposed to be like in the style of PT. And it looked awesome. It looked terrifying. It was probably a game that I would have gotten and regretted instantly. Because I love horror movies. Horror games scare me to no end, but I still play them.
Sure.
That game looked terrifying. That game looked awesome. And like they even found a publisher with Team 17 who does a lot of pretty good games, like the Worms games. I think they did Ollie 2 or whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a lot of more independent games, but they do really good games, and they were backing that game, and it happened suddenly, and they said we'll find out why later this week. Don't know why it happened, but they said it had to be canceled.
Sure.
That's kind of I know it's weird,
yeah.
but
Now, Andrew, I will say,
looking forward to it.
I'm a huge fan of horror games as well. I think in October, you and I should do like a top horror games list or video. That would be awesome.
Definitely.
Because I mean, like the first Dead Space, love that game. I went to that game pretty much blind. It was when I first started playing, and like right at the intro, like I got through it, and I'm like, I was like too afraid to go to the next room. Like, what do I do? And it's just. The PT demo was the same way. Like, that PT demo was terrifying.
I was so ready for Dead Space that I was in college at the time. I walked from my college to my local game store, which is 3 miles away, and then walked it back to school just so I could play. I walked 6 miles that day.
Dedication.
Just so I could play Dead Space.
Yeah. See, that's one thing we know about you, Andrew. You are very dedicated.
Most of the time to really bad games, but still dedicated nonetheless.
Dead Space is awesome.
Hey, there's a certain flavor he likes. We're starting to learn what that is.
That's true. So I am 100% not a fan of the spookies. So less Allison Road is perfectly fine with me.
I'm playing Among the Sleep right now.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
That game freaks me out.
I mean, you play as a 2-year-old kid, and I feel like it's pretty cool because when you're 2, you're probably scared of everything. And there's not a lot of music in that game, so when you look in the closet, it's terrifying. And the first time I played it, I started playing it the other day at like 1 a.m. with my headset on, with my lights off, and I played
the best way to play.
I played 15 minutes of it, and I said, I'll play it in the morning. And that's exactly what I did. I stopped playing it. I went to bed.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So I really don't play the spookies. I don't like them at all. The last game I can remember scaring me. You ready for this? This is a deep cut. Was I don't remember the name of the game now. Eternal Sunshine. Was that the name?
Eternal Darkness.
Eternal Darkness.
Yeah,
on the GameCube.
That's what you wanted when you played it.
That's what I wanted with Eternal Sunshine. That's what I wanted. That's that other movie that's really freaky. Yeah, no. So Eternal Darkness. Which was I was a huge GameCube fan. This was like a great exclusive title. I'm playing through it. You get to that bathtub scene, man, and you touch the bathtub, and they flash on the girl dead in the bathtub, and I threw the controller down and I turned it off, and I took the game back to GameStop, and I never played it again, and it just doesn't. It's not for me.
Interestingly enough, that is my number 2 favorite game of all time.
See, I love that game too, but Chris, I'm kind of with you on parts of that game because, like, that game did freak me out. Like, there were just parts of that game that freaked you out, especially they try to trick you with, when you went crazy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, just the part where you're doing like those chants, you're doing spells. That was it was just
and
weird.
My fear, one of my two of my fears are rats and bugs. And when that cockroach crawls on the screen, I screamed. I screamed loud, very loud.
Andrew, I'm with you on the bug thing because this is going way back to the launch of 360. King Kong, the movie, the game. When you're fighting those giant centipedes, I would literally freak out when those things came at me. I just lost it.
The thing you should know is that like when I play Halo with my friends, I'm on the headset. If they suddenly stop hearing me talk, it's because there's a centipede in the room and I left the game to go kill it. And they can hear me. They're like, where did he go? They're like, there's probably a bug in his room. And I will stop playing.
Man.
Wait, are centipedes like a big thing in New Jersey?
Yes. And it's and the thing is, it rained a lot today, so I'm probably gonna get a few.
See, wait, I don't know if you get this, but like in Ohio, when it rains really bad, there are literally worms everywhere. They're like all over the road. It's disgusting. They're all over the road. They're all over the sidewalks. It's nasty.
That just sounds terrible.
It's too hot for anything like that to live in Texas. Everything just is dead. The only thing that we have to fight are possums and mosquitoes.
Mosquitoes. Yeah. See, this show, we go deep into our personal lives. Now, actually, speaking of the show, I think we're learning more about Andrew every episode. It's like we're peeling back a new layer every episode.
Yeah. Was he like in Shrek? He's like an onion.
Yes,
he's our onion.
Or parfait.
Well, let's hop into some happy news. Actually, this is more on the rumor side. Both of you were talking about this before the show. A little game called Lego Dimensions.
Yes.
So now we may learn something about this next week. Who knows? What's the rumor? What's
new
going on?
characters, new playsets, like Harry Potter, Powerpuff Girls, Adventure Time, Sonic, which is pretty cool.
I'm actually pretty excited about Adventure Time. I like Adventure Time. I started watching it kind of late, but it's that show being a cartoon. It's got like some deep stuff in there. It's funny. I like Adventure Time. It's awesome.
Now you said Sonic, like Sonic the Drive-In?
Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the
Drive-In. Because I thought like a little hot dog and some tater tots. That would be. I may buy that.
Instead of Adventure Time, I totally wish they would have done like the regular show. I love that show.
I've never seen
regular show's great.
Never seen it.
Yeah, or even Gravity Falls, but Gravity Falls is
I've
Disney.
seen that. I've heard really good things about
Disney.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah. There were actually plans to bring Gravity Falls to Disney Infinity. Dum.
Really?
But
cool.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Hey, okay, is there any series? Just curious. Is there any series you guys absolutely want to see come to Lego Dimensions? Because we already have Lord of the Rings, Wizard of Oz, Batman.
I mean, if they
Ghostbusters.
if they went with the Simpsons, I really would just say go Futurama. Futurama.
Oh my gosh, Futurama is literally my top 3 favorite shows of all time. I've watched that entire show beginning to end. I can't tell you how many times because I have them all on DVD.
That would be super cool. That'd be awesome.
Oh, so good.
I want more DC characters. I mean, they rumored Supergirl, which would be awesome.
Oh, cool.
Everybody knows I'm a huge Batgirl fan, so come on,
Sure.
Come on, TT
Actually,
games. Just
we were talking about Ninja Turtles earlier. That would be so awesome if they put the Ninja Turtles in there.
They have they actually have a physical set. They have a physical.
Yeah,
they have physical.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they did. They did Ninja Turtle sets a little while ago.
See, I don't know. I have Disney Infinity. And I have Amiibo, but now Disney Infinity's dead. Maybe I'll have to hop onto the Lego Dimensions bandwagon.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation about.
Behind me for a reason.
It's kind of out there, but they have Big Bang Theory sets, and I kind of wish they would go out there. I mean, they could do a storyline with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they brought Doctor Who, and Doctor Who was one of the Lego idea sets. So I mean, that's definitely within the realm.
Hey,
so
are
Back
you
to the
guys
Future,
Doctor Who fans?
Back to the Future.
I am. I'm pretty big Doctor Who fan.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But
Favorite Doctor?
I'm
Go.
I'm a favorite.
Yes.
And I'm only new generation Doctor. My favorite would be David Tennant.
Oh, Matt Smith, all the way, 100%.
Matt Smith is good. I haven't watched any of the Peter Capaldi stuff, so I watch on Netflix when it comes out. So
okay.
I'll show myself out because I don't watch it.
To answer your question about Lego, so here's my thing about Lego, and I'm really pumped for Lego Star Wars Force Awakens, which is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to play a Lego Dimensions game if they made a sequel and they didn't make me buy toys, since they will probably not do that because it makes a lot of money.
Yeah, they have
I
to be making so much
that.
money on that.
But what I really want is I want a Lego game. I want like Lego City. I want
Like Lego City Undercover. That was on the Wii U.
Oh, that
Yeah,
game
that was
was
on the
so
Wii U.
good.
Hey,
Yeah,
I just want to say, for an
exclusive,
Xbox podcast, we talk about Nintendo a lot.
Well, because Nintendo is the godfather of video games, so like you can't talk video games and not bring up Nintendo. Says the guy who's sitting in front of a Nintendo toys. So
And a
my Club
Villager
Nintendo
posters. There's a Villager poster.
I got the Villager and I got Rosalie on the other side.
But yeah, so actually to answer that question, I would like to. I mean, if they continue the Lego Dimensions brand like it is, I will not buy it. But I would like to see them do more. Of their stuff. Like I would like to see like a really cool, pirate set, like the classic, pirates or something like
Rock Raiders HQ.
Yeah, Rock Raiders, or Blacktron, or like any of the cool, or even like the NASA sets. Like I grew up. I mean, my gamer tag is Neo Lego. That's I grew up on this stuff. Like I love it. So I'd love to see any of like their cool and just like even older brands kind of be brought back in that way. That's what I loved about Benny. When the Lego movie came out, like Benny is 1980s space guy, right? Yeah. Like that's his whole spiel. His big giant gaudy spaceship. Like that's the stuff they made in the 80s. Like give me more stuff like that.
I had the spaceships, and I had the speedboats, and I had all that stuff.
It was
great. Have them in Lego Dimensions.
So yeah, exactly. So I think it'd be cool if they did like they do the Portal Worlds, just do like a Lego City world and give me like a bulldozer and like a guy and stuff like that. I think could be kind of cool.
Okay, cool. Well, now, before we hop into our topic of the week, I don't have any other news stories on my outline here. Are there any other topics you guys want to hit? Any other big news stories?
Well, you guys, two things real quick. So,
Sure.
Free Radical announced, it wasn't Free Radical announced their new game. Was that who it was? I was actually looking at the B-roll. Somebody, the Saints Row guys. Volition. That's right. They announced a new game. What was that game?
Agents of Mayhem.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Now, did they release a trailer? I mean, I saw the news kind of pop in my feed,
it
but
was like
I
a
haven't
5-minute
checked it out.
trailer.
Oh wow!
I did not even see that either. I do know that it takes place in the same universe as Saints Row, which is
Really?
cool.
That's cool.
So here's
Continuity,
the thing.
man.
Yeah, continuity. So here's the thing, and we won't belabor this since you guys didn't watch the trailer, but the art style is completely different, which is interesting to me. If they're going to place it in the world of Saints Row, you would think it feels like Saints Row. Saints Row has more of a realistic feel to it, and this was very much more kind of cel-shaded and cartoony. It actually felt, to me, in the trailer, more like something like Overwatch or even Borderlands, like a little more over-stylized. They showed 3 hero characters, a girl who had like a little robotic backpack, like your standard soldier kind of guy, and then a giant tank guy, and they're just causing a bunch of mayhem. I don't really know much
Hence
about the game.
name.
The trailer, yeah, exactly. The trailer was interesting. I just wanted to see if you guys had any feedback. It looks like it's probably going to be an open world game, so probably not something that I'm going to be too interested in, but I thought I'd mention it. Other thing... Oh, go ahead.
Did you like Saints Row?
So I played the 4th.
Oh, wow.
Was that the last one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I played
was
the
it
4th.
the Xbox One version, like the re-election or whatever it was called?
Oh, I played on the 360.
Oh,
the 4th
okay.
came to 360, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that was the last one on 360. Yeah, so I never played. I heard that 3 was the best. I played 4 for a little while, and it was okay. I'm not an open world kind of guy,
Sure.
so I don't know that it's necessarily my cup of tea. But it's announced. I'm sure we'll probably get a bunch more of actual gameplay at E3. The other thing that I was going to mention is Watch Dogs.
Okay. Oh, yeah, one thing real quick. Speaking of Saints Row, my only experience with Saints Row was the first one because it was back when GTA was only on PlayStation, and I'm like, okay, I get this game. It's kind of like GTA, only it's Xbox exclusive, But I
like that game.
Yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't. It wasn't
insurance
GTA.
fraud where you just throw yourself in front of the like cars and make money.
Yeah, no doubt.
yeah,
so then the other
Dogs.
thing is Watch Dogs 2. So it looks like Watch Dogs 2 was kind of announced via an ad that popped up.
It was on IGN by mistake.
Yeah, on IGN.
It said
and,
11/15/16.
Yeah, 11/15/16. So we actually have a date. So I don't think that was maybe necessarily a giant surprise. I think that there was some pretty substantiated rumors that we're going to see a new Watch Dogs at E3 this year. It's been 3 years since the first game came out.
Yeah.
Did you guys play Watch Dogs?
I didn't, but as soon as I read the Watch Dogs 2 news, I hopped on Amazon and GameStop and stuff to see how much Watch Dogs 1 is. I think it's like $11 on Amazon. Like, it's super cheap. So I'm like, maybe I'll pick it up and play it.
Maybe we play it.
I played through about 80% of it.
Oh,
and then
come
I was
on,
just
Andrew.
like, no more.
Yeah. So you didn't like it?
It's not that I didn't like it, it's just they made it seem so ambitious, and it was none of that.
It probably was at one time, and I think they had to scale it back.
Yeah.
It felt like every other open world game that I've played. There were some cool things, like if you're being chased, you can lift barriers up electronically so that like the cars will smash into it and you can escape. There's cool things like that, but I mean, it's like Grand Theft Auto where you keep doing the same kind of missions over and over again.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that I think what really hurt it was that it was if you remember, it was the game that was kind of announced for next gen before next gen was announced. Like that was the big controversy. They're like, wait a second, next gen, what are you talking about?
They're like, it's PS3 and Xbox 360, and you saw the trailer, you're like, there's no way.
No, it's not. Yeah, so but I think it was kind of that bridge game where they also had to release it on last gen, and so so the way I think about it like Assassin's Creed. So Assassin's Creed 1 was okay. You saw a lot of potential. You were like, there's some good ideas here, but maybe didn't execute as well. And Assassin's Creed 2 is one of my favorite games on the Xbox 360. Yeah. So like Watch Dogs has the potential. Like this is the same developer, the same publisher. Like they have that kind of pedigree. So I mean, this has the potential to be a phenomenal game. So I'm actually super excited to see what they're gonna show at E3.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna get a day one though. I mean, it's mid-November. That's gonna be the time where everything's launching.
It all depends on Recore right now.
September. I'm calling it.
Right. September. Okay, guys. With that, we're gonna hop into our topic of the week. With E3 next week, so I mean this is really close, but there's some rumors going around about some possible new hardware for Xbox One, and they're springing up everywhere now. I mean, it's like like leaks on a ship, right? Then one pops, another one pops, another one. It's like a screen door in a submarine, right?
Yeah.
But we've heard about VR coming to Xbox One, and with that, they said, well, that won't work on the regular Xbox. It's not powerful enough. We know that. And they said, well, there may be a more powerful Xbox One on the way. It's currently called the Xbox One Scorpio, or not Xbox One Scorpio, just Xbox Scorpio, right?
That's right.
So now I don't have the specs in front of me. Do you guys remember what exactly? I know this is going to be more powerful, rumored to be more powerful than PlayStation Neo.
Yeah, the only number that they've kind of shared on paper, again rumored, is 6 teraflops of processing power. To put that in contrast, I think the PS4 Neo is supposed to be about 4.5. So you're looking at roughly about 30% faster in processing. Now, that is really just one small part of a greater whole, and we don't really know what the rest of it is. We mentioned this a little while back. I mean, there's 2 distinct rumors that have all but been confirmed by sources, both with Polygon and Kotaku, that we're going to see an Xbox Slim, and we're going to see Xbox Scorpio. And so hardware is definitely going to be on stage for Microsoft, and so. So I don't know. I just thought we maybe talk about like what we think it is. And so let's actually kind of just start with the Slim. So I guess maybe just real quick we can go one by one. Just what do you want to see from an Xbox Slim, and what do you think we'll see from the Xbox Slim? Andrew, you want to go first?
Well, I think it's definitely going to happen. I mean, if you look at the sale going on now, where it's $299, it ends on Monday, which is the same day as their conference. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they're just going to say, once this is done, you can go buy it now. I'm fully expecting it. If that doesn't happen, I'll be genuinely shocked.
Yeah.
But I mean, I honestly don't mind the Xbox One that I have. I don't mind the size. It's in my entertainment center, so I'm never moving it around.
Of course.
I can see some people who don't have as much space wanting a smaller one. I mean, the slim Xbox One had a better hard drive. Xbox 360 had a better hard drive. It wasn't as small, because I ended up getting one down the road. It wasn't as small, just, a little faster, better hard drive, or whatnot. So if they do a Slim, I think it's going to have either 1 terabyte, maybe 2, you never know, and it's going to be a lot smaller. But, I mean, it's kind of just there. I'm not really excited for it because I have an Xbox One. Right. I'm kind of just waiting for next year, which I'm pretty sure they're going to
Jamie, before you go, follow-up question. What is something they could announce for the Xbox Slim that would make you want to buy one this year?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, if it comes with... You give me 2 terabytes, I'll be okay. Really that, or if you get it and it's bundled in with a few games. I remember when the 360 had Hexic, and I love that game. And it came with it. You give me something good that I like, something cool. If they said an Xbox Slim is out now and it came with Cuphead, I would go and buy one. If they do something like that where it's such a crazy announcement and it comes with this, you know how many people would go buy it? I would go buy it, and I have an Xbox One. Yeah. I would get another one on the spot.
Sure. All right, Jamie, your turn. What do you expect from the Slim? What do you want? Well, what would make you buy one?
Sure. Well, like, I agree with what Andrew said. It's probably just going to be a slightly smaller Xbox One with bigger hard drive. It run a little bit quieter, a little bit cooler. But the problem with the Xbox One Slim, like you said, Chris, I don't really see a reason to buy it, because with the Xbox 360, that launch Xbox 360 had some serious problems. I'd mentioned it before in the show, my Xbox 360 red ringed, I think 3 or 4 times, and then I just gave up on it, and then sold to a friend, but the Xbox One, I've got no issues. I've never had a problem with it. I've never had to send it in. It's quiet. It plays all my games just fine. I've got a 2 terabyte external hard drive hooked up to it. I've got no problem with space. So right now, I mean, unless they say, run games better, or like if anything, I need to hear something other than it's a slimmer version of the Xbox One, runs a little bit quieter. If it's minimal specifications, that are different from Xbox One, I don't see myself buying one.
I had the exact opposite situation from you. My Xbox 360 never red ringed. I just ended up upgrading after a while. I'm on my 5th Xbox One, and
wow.
The first
what do you
one,
do to them?
The first one
plays
stopped
crappy
reading
games like Cora.
The system
just like,
discs.
I give up.
The first one stopped reading discs. The second one was defective right when I got it. It was the store. I got like 3 of them from GameStop, and 3 of them within like a week they were just gone. One of them was about 10 seconds after I turned it on. And they even tried it at the store, and it was defective. One of the ones that was defective like died with Sunset Overdrive in it, so we had to like manually like take it out. And then eventually I was just like, I'm gonna get the Elite console, and I did, and I haven't had a problem since. So that one's pretty solid.
See, I think it's karma. Play bad games, bad things happen.
That's right.
If that was the case, I would have been out of like 8 360s.
Sure,
I played Avatar, the Avatar game for that like 1,000 achievement points.
Wow.
So,
Chris, what about you though? I mean, what would you want to see out of the Xbox One Slim? Would anything make you want to buy it?
Yeah, so I don't, I'm kind of on the same page with you guys. I don't see the Slim as an Xbox for us. I think that it's going to drive costs down for Microsoft because things are cheaper to make. It's going to be smaller, so it'll be cheaper to ship. They can kind of use it as a hardware launch to promote and really push the console for the holidays to try and get more people to buy it. Yeah. So I just think it's a smart marketing decision, but I don't think it's marketed to us. I do think, and I've said this before, I do think that one of the big improvements is going to be a speaker on a redesigned controller. I think the controller will resemble more the Elite controller, while not being completely interchangeable like the Elite. There will, I feel like maybe the sticks will be adjusted. You may get different configurations, things like that. But I definitely think there will be a speaker in there. We got the trailer for Major Nelson this week that this summer the new Xbox dashboard update is going to come, and they're adding Cortana, and so again they're driving home the audio commands. They even said in the video, they're like, oh, what do I do if I don't have Kinect? And they're like, easy, you can do it with your headphones. But I think what they're also saying is until we give you a controller that has a speaker in it. So I think that's coming. I think that's going to be there.
Right. But so with the controller, you can buy it. I mean, I'm assuming you'll be able to buy it separately. I mean,
well, of course, yeah. Just like we were with the with the controller last year when they added the 1/4-inch headphone jack into the controller. So definitely we'll be able to buy it. So I think the console really isn't for necessarily for us.
Sure. Well, quick question on the Elite. Since I didn't buy an Elite, Andrew, you have an Elite. The internals on the Xbox One Elite, are they better than the normal Xbox One? I know it has a bigger hard drive. Is there anything different inside?
I don't think so, but it runs. Okay. It runs a little faster.
Okay, I was just curious.
I can tell.
Okay,
you can tell that it runs a little faster.
Okay. So it might be like the internals of the Elite might be what's in the Slim, right?
Probably, and the big internal change for the Elite was the hybrid drive, and so without getting into technical stuff, it was supposed to be able to load data faster as being a hybrid solid state drive in the system, as opposed to the 500 or even the 1 terabyte outside of the Elite, which is not a hybrid drive. So that's where I fall. So I think the Slim's definitely going to happen. I think it just makes complete sense. I think it'll lower costs for Microsoft, and they get to ride kind of the hype into the holiday season, and at least have something on the shelves whenever the Neo comes out.
Sure.
So then the other part is Xbox Scorpio. So Jamie, you want to start with Xbox Scorpio? Sure. What do you think about Scorpio? What do you think it is? What do you think it will be? What do you want from it?
I mean, getting into Xbox Scorpio, I mean, this could be a really long topic if we let it, because it feels like for the first time they're going to be releasing a brand new console mid-generation. I mean, because if these specifications are true, I mean, this is going to be a really amped up Xbox One, and I can only expect what the price is going to be. Probably what the Xbox One was at launch. I think it was $499 at launch.
Yep.
I believe, and the Xbox One now is what, $299?
$299, yeah,
okay.
with the price drop.
Yeah,
sure. Now that price drop only goes, according to them, goes up to E3.
Monday.
So there's probably going to be an official price drop in the Slim announcement, but that's a whole nother thing.
Yes.
But I need to, outside of VR, the only way I think I'll see myself buying a Scorpio, 2 reasons. 1, my Xbox One dies. Or 2, they do what, kind of like what Nintendo did with the new 3DS, and they make exclusive games just for Scorpio. Now, they say they won't do that, but if the audience is growing, I can see it happening. So, I mean, those are really the only reasons, but I feel like the Scorpio is going to split the audience. That kind of worries me, because that's like, if you get and talk to people about the Neo, they've got the same fear, is that it's going to start splitting the audience. So I'm very mixed on the Scorpio. I mean, why release it next year? Wait another year. That gives the Xbox One at least a 5-year lifespan, which is a shorter lifespan. But I mean, back on Super Nintendo Genesis, things like that, I mean, and N64, those were shorter lifespans. So I mean, I could see a 5-year lifespan, totally fine with that.
Yeah.
But doing it mid-generation, because we've only had Xbox One 3 years. I mean, if they announce this thing now, it's coming out, early next year.
I think it needs to happen.
And why is that?
And Sony, man, they have a huge jump, and if they have the Neo this year, that's going to be stronger. Everybody's going to think it's stronger. They need to just come out with one and be like, look, it costs this much, but if there is VR, they have Oculus. Oculus is probably going to be a ton more powerful than the PSVR. They're going to have a stronger console. They're going to have a stronger VR headset. Even if people don't want VR, because I'm pretty sure there's a handful of people that don't want it.
Sure.
There's going to be a stronger console that can probably play your games faster. It's probably going to make everything look better. Probably will have 4K, and a lot of people have that now.
Sure.
So, I mean, even though the price point might be big and not everybody would want it, it's something that just has to happen.
Yeah. I mean, looking at 4K, like my wife and I have been looking at getting a new TV, and just looking out there, everything's 4K. Like, I mean, HDs aren't really, I mean, you can still buy HDs, but if you want to get a new TV, they're all 4K. All of them. I mean, that's just what there is.
And that's what you want to buy.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I was freaking out. Sorry.
No,
I was freaking out when I bought a 42-inch 1080p TV for the Xbox One.
Oh, okay.
Like, Like, I was rocking a 19-inch TV for the 360, and I was like, we're going into the next gen. I can't have a 19-inch TV.
An old tube CRT, like those old
No,
TVs.
I had a 720, like,
Okay.
like a 19-inch TV. But I was like, I can't have that.
Sure.
So I bought a 42-inch 1080p TV, like, a week or two before the one came out, just so I could have it ready.
Well, speaking of buying TVs for consoles, when I got my Xbox 360, I bought my first HD TV. It was a 28-inch 720p tube HD. Yeah,
yes.
I mean it had the component
Yes.
like
rear projector.
It didn't have the HDMI on it. I mean it was
Yes.
I mean, it was technically HD, but yeah, that thing was like 90 pounds. It was so heavy. Yeah,
They're the best. Those are the best. So for me, I think Scorpio is definitely coming next year. I do think that it's needed, but I think it's needed for some stuff that we can't really understand yet. This just goes back to Phil Spencer's really been talking about unifying the systems. With the again, going back to the announcement by Major Nelson of the new update, we are getting a unified Windows, PC, and Xbox store. Same store that you find on your Windows 10 device is going to be the same store that you find on your Xbox One. Like, we're getting closer and closer. Cortana is now coming to the Xbox One. Like, we are bringing your basic PC experience to the to your Xbox One. Sure. I fully expect the Scorpio to be basically a PC.
Right.
I believe it will play PC games. I believe that it will have VR capability. I believe that it is going to be the evolution of marrying these two things together. What I do go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so pretty much what you're saying, if you buy a game digitally on the Windows Store, you can download it on your Xbox One, or you can download it on your Windows 10 PC. It's the exact, you only buy it once. I mean, that's what they're doing with a lot of the games now anyway. It's just you get a digital copy from one or the other.
Yeah. So what I see is a world a year from now where the Microsoft Store is like the App Store on iOS or Google Play, where you can buy a game, you can buy an app, a program, and you can load that app or that game on your Windows PC. You can load that app or load that game on your Surface tablet. You can load that app or load that game on your Xbox Scorpio.
Sure.
I believe that it is a complete unifying of the system. So while I do think VR is important, I think the extra power is really coming from the fact that they want to make a console PC.
Okay.
And so that's where I think kind of the focus is coming from.
Right. And they want to put a PC in your living room. I mean, originally,
that's what they want.
I mean, the whole reason it was called the Xbox One is because you're all in one device. It was supposed to do everything. Okay, let me ask you this. Before the end of the Xbox One life cycle, the current Xbox One, do you think it's going to be running like Windows 10? I mean, it has its own version of Windows on it, but like specifically the same version you have Windows 10 on your PC will be on the Xbox One.
The Scorpio, yes,
but not on the current Xbox One.
I think so. So here's where it gets tricky. I don't think what they want to do in the game space can be done on the Xbox One.
The current Xbox One.
The current Xbox One. So I think that there will be a version. I think it may be something similar to the way that the very first Surface had Windows RT, which was a scaled down version of Windows 7.
One.
Sure.
Yeah, so but I mean, it was Windows 7. Some of the apps didn't work. You didn't have access to some of the things, but like it was exactly Windows. It looked exactly the same, worked exactly the same way. So I could see us get, Windows 10, X or something that would be just for, this version of Xbox One. But I do believe it'll run a full Xbox One suite. I believe the Scorpio will come with a keyboard and mouse. Like, I think it will be a PC. That you plug into your TV.
Sure.
Now, with that being said, this is the other part that I'm still going to hold to. When we made our predictions, I predicted that we would have VR on the Xbox One this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I still think that is the case. I still think we are going to get an Oculus Rift for the Xbox One this fall.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. They got to have a pretty big processing box to go along with that thing, man.
Well, maybe. I mean, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying it's going to be on par with the PlayStation VR. I mean, Oculus has that Samsung, the Samsung, whatever it's called, the V1 or whatever, the little Oculus.
Yeah.
Oh, it's for the Samsung phones, right? So, I mean, again, you can plug your phone into a VR and you can have a VR experience. I'm not saying it's going to be great, but I just do not see Microsoft letting PlayStation launch PSVR with not having something.
Sure.
I believe we get a scaled down Oculus version. Oculus Rift version for the Xbox One this fall.
I kind of think that there won't be one, just because, I mean, not many people have seen the PSVR in action.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most times you see demos, they're not really running on the console; they're running on a PC.
Right. Right.
Yeah. What if all those demos people saw were on a PC, not on the actual PSVR?
Sure.
The actual thing comes out. And a lot of people think that the Neo is being made because, to run PSVR better. What about the people who have PS4 now, like myself? I have one pre-ordered. I have no idea how this thing is going to work out.
Right.
It could be,
of course.
Then it could be how the original Kinect was.
Oh,
totally.
Sure.
I mean, you don't know. You really.
Yeah.
It's tough to tell.
So let me play devil's advocate. What if the Xbox gets an Oculus Rift this year, that because of the processing power on the Xbox One cannot run or even produce super high-powered, high-processed games. You're getting simple experiences, but you get to enter the VR world. Then next year when the Scorpio launches, you literally just plug that same Oculus Rift into the Scorpio.
And it opens up
everything that you've been missing. So they're addressing VR this year so that they're part of the conversation, and then it's future-proof for whatever comes down the line.
Sure. Honestly, I would wait. Even if it came this year, I would wait till the more refined version came out next year. I wouldn't want my first experience to be one that was just not up to par of what I thought it would be. I'd rather just wait for the more powerful console with better VR.
Okay.
That's just my
Jamie,
opinion.
sure, go.
Well, to wrap up this conversation real quick, just a quick fire question round here.
Okay.
The Xbox One Slim, what's going to be the launch price? Andrew,
$299.
Go. $299?
$299.
Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I say it's going to be $299, but I think it'll be bundled with something.
Okay. Sorry,
I
Andrew.
think it'll be a $299 like with a big game.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if they've already dropped it down to $299, this is the price.
Okay.
You can't go back up.
Sure.
You need to just do it. You know how many people would buy it at $299?
Right.
How many people would buy it at $249?
Sure. Well, what's going to happen to the original Xbox? The OG Xbox One.
Oh.
Is that going to stay $299 or is that going to drop?
I think that'll probably drop.
Okay.
It's going to phase out right away.
Sure.
True,
okay.
but I can see that dropping to $249, the Slim $299.
Okay.
And then I would say the Elite is still $349.
Okay.
I mean, you're coming with a $150 controller.
Right.
There's no way you're dropping that.
That's where the price is coming for that. Okay.
Of course.
Xbox Scorpio, when it launches, launch price. Chris, go.
If it's console alone, I say $499.99.
Okay.
I think there will be a VR version that will launch for $599.99.
Okay. Andrew, go.
I'm going to go 100 more on each version than what Chris said. Well, the PSVR, I think with the Move, because you need 2 Move controllers, you need everything. Right. I think with all of that, it's $499.99 just for the just for all of that. I mean, when I pre-ordered it, it was for the $500 bundle, and if it's $500 just for VR.
Yeah.
And for PSVR, and you're talking Oculus, it's going to be a lot of money.
Okay.
I mean, we can even we can even say it was double the price of the Xbox One.
Yeah, it could be. Sure. Yeah, it could be. It really depends on what the Rift actually is. I just don't think they launch a console more than $500.
Sure.
Well, I think they're gonna have, like you said, 2 versions, and then people who really want it are gonna spend $1,000 to do it, which means I should start saving.
And I mean, I agree. I think the Scorpio will launch at $499. And if you want to get Oculus separately, it's probably going to be the same thing. It's probably going to be $499. So it's going to be expensive. It's going to be for the true video game fan who really saves their money, because the public is not going to spend $1,000. If a kid says for Christmas, I want the Xbox Scorpio with Oculus, no way. That is not going to happen.
I have to get it. I mean, look what we write for. It's Xbox Enthusiast.
I agree. I've got some money saved back for the NX whenever it comes out, but honestly, if this Scorpio comes out, my money might shift. We'll see.
But
depends.
go ahead.
When they announced the one was $500, I was just like, okay, let's go. I knew I was gonna go there anyway. All my friends, with the exception of like maybe 2 people, play on the Xbox One, and
that's awesome.
Even if another console was more appealing to me, I'm gonna go where everybody I know is. I play my multiplayer games with the people I know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
I've already grown accustomed to the Microsoft games though, so it really I can't abandon Halo or Gears or any of that.
Okay,
just a final note for me. Sure. If Microsoft does not announce VR in some capacity by the time the Scorpio comes out, I will finish my week by pre-ordering a PlayStation VR.
Well, there you go.
Well,
so
if you can get your
Microsoft, if you're listening, they will. They said they're going to be opening it up more after E3, so they'll have more.
And we all know that Bill Gates and Phil Spencer both listen to this show, so we know they're listening.
Yeah, hi Phil.
Yeah.
But speaking of friends, Andrew, like you said, we want all of you to be our friends. So make sure to go on Facebook. Find us on Facebook.
We like friends.
We're also on YouTube. We put a video version of this podcast up every week. We're also on Twitter at Enthusiast Xbox. Now, if you are watching it on YouTube, we are now on iTunes. Find us and subscribe on iTunes. Awesome. We're also on the Microsoft MP3 store, and we just got accepted onto the Google Play Music Store. So we are there as well. Go on all those places. Subscribe if you have all 3. Subscribe to all 3, and make sure to rate us, because we would absolutely love that. That would be awesome.
Yes.
As for myself, you can find me on Xbox One, Twitter, Twitch, pretty much Twitter, everywhere, Jamester0722. And Andrew, where can people find you, sir?
Xbox Live and Twitter, VersaVulture89.
Awesome. And Chris?
Check your girlfriend's cell phone under Neo Lego. All my stuff will be right there.
Thank you for that, sir.
You're welcome.
And with that wonderful comment, as you're all checking your girlfriend's cell phones, you can check us out next time, and make sure to subscribe. Until then, we're out.
Later.
See ya.